What is up, guys? Welcome to the Karcher Cares podcast. This is the first episode of 2019, episode 3. And what we're going to talk about on this episode is for all you New Year's resolutioners out there. So I hope you enjoy what we got for you. So I hope everybody had a wonderful and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and all that jazz. And I just got back from a 5-day vacation in Alabama. My sister had my first nephew. His name is Mason Lane, and so I spent some time down there with them. He was born on January 4th, and I spent some time in Horton, Alabama, which is like in the mountains and in the middle of nowhere. I think the only thing they have is like a dollar store, and so I just spent 5 days there with them and my sister and brother-in-law, my niece, and the new baby. So kind of been out of the loop, but I'm back now. I hit the gym and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get this 2019 kicked off. So the topic of this podcast is going to be about the new year and all you guys with your resolutions. The number one resolution seems to be either I want to get back in the gym, I want to start eating healthy, or I want to stop drinking, etc. All the above. And in this episode, I'm going to give you some tips on your gym and your diet that everybody wants to do for the new year. And hopefully you guys can last longer than a week like most people do with their New Year's resolution. So when starting your diet, I just want you to do one thing before you really get to going on your diet, and that is to throw that word out the window. Because when it comes down to it, it's not about diet, it's about lifestyle. And when changing your lifestyle, you're going to have to change in a lot of things, your attitude, your mental health, a lot of habits you may have, like drinking, sodas, etc. And you're really going to have to throw those things out, because a diet is only temporary. It's not, when you say you're going to diet, usually it's 30 days and then that's it and it's over with. And what are you going to do? Are you just going to do that diet for the rest of your life, or are you going to change everything else? You're not going to eat that same stuff every day for the rest of your life. It's just not going to work. You're not going to make it. So what you have to do is really focus on the three main things, your gym, your routine, your foods that you eat, and then you're getting rid of your habits. You have to make sure that your kitchen is right before you go to the gym at all. Yeah, my first, thing would be to get your kitchen right before you get your gym right, because being healthy in the kitchen, it compensates for whenever you go to the gym and really helps your body out. So, if you have any bad habits such as like drinking, sodas, or drinking alcohol or sweets, you're gonna have to cut those out for at least 3 months. Now, whenever people think they have to cut things out, they feel like they have to cut them out forever. And I always laugh, because you don't have to cut them out forever. And that's why most people give up, because they're like, well, there ain't no way I can give that up forever. Well, 3 months. Just bear with me for 3 months. Cut it out. Eat clean. Go to the gym a minimum of 3 days a week. That's all you got to do. Cut those out. Gym 3 days a week. In 3 months, you will notice the biggest difference in your life. You'll be like, whoa, wow, how did I do that? But that's the problem, is nobody wants to give it 3 months. They go for a week and they realize that, well, I'm not losing weight. I haven't lost anything. I'm not gaining any muscle. It's not working. It's just not for me. Well, guys, it takes so much longer than a week. It's not days, it's not weeks, it's months, and months of strict working out, dieting. If you really want to make a change, yeah, you can. If you just kind of in it just to change your little habits or whatever, just a little bit, you can mess up here and there. But if you really want to make a huge change, you have to make a huge difference in your lifestyle and not a diet. So just forget the word diet and refer to lifestyle from now on, and you will see results for the rest of your life rather than temporarily. So that's what we're going to aim for in these tips from the kitchen. So a lot of things that you can eat in the kitchen for losing, not really necessarily losing weight, but just kind of like, maintaining yourself and getting on a healthier basis of life. Obviously you're going to lose a little bit of weight and, shed some fat whenever you're eating all this stuff. This is stuff, in my opinion, that has worked for me in the past and hopefully will work for you. So I wrote down some notes here on some of the foods to eat. I underlined your proteins. You're going to get it from your ground turkey, your chicken breast. Make sure it's the lean chicken breast. And your lean ground beef, preferably grass-fed, so the cows aren't fed all those, grains that are full of preservatives and stuff. You want to get it from the leanest grass-fed beef. That's what you want. And obviously protein powders. I use Optimum Nutrition. I love that protein. It tastes the best, and I feel like I've got the best results out of it. I've used it forever, and I really like it, and I recommend it. And then next thing is going to be your fats. And this steers a lot of people away from any, kind of like weight loss diet whenever they hear the word fats, because they think all fats are bad. And like, well, don't you want to stay away from fat whenever I diet? Absolutely not. Fats are one of the most important because you have to get your good fats. And getting your good fats comes from things like your nuts, like your almonds, and along with the nuts, you want to cook with coconut oil, or you need to use some grass-fed butter that you want to cook with. And I drink almond milk. I use that with my protein powder every day. If you follow my Instagram, you see me, mix that in my shake all the time. And cottage cheese is a good source of your good fats, and it has a little bit of protein in it too. So, but a lot of people don't like cottage cheese, and I understand that, but I love it. So, and avocados are obviously a good source of fats, and they're also good for reproductive health, if you didn't know that. Fun fact. Carbs are something you want whenever you're dieting, trying to lean out and maintain healthy fitness. But the carbs you're going to really want are the fibrous carbs, and that is your greens. So you're going to get it from your spinach, your broccoli, your kale, your Brussels sprouts, your asparagus, and then some other carbs you can get, besides the greens, is like some sweet potatoes or rice. But I don't really eat that very much. I'll eat rice, but man, I haven't had a sweet potato in a while. Probably Thanksgiving, and it wasn't a good sweet potato. It was the one with the cinnamon on it and all the bad stuff, But those are just some examples. And what these greens do, these fibrous carbs, what does fiber make you do? It goes to it makes you go to the bathroom. So it's essentially going to cleanse you, keep your body functioning properly, and in order. Your digestive health helps the most on staying healthy and fit. Your gut health is one of the most important things when trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle and fit lifestyle. And then I've wrote down some fruits that I eat and that I ate while I was trying to cut down and, shed some fat. And that was bananas. I never ate more than one banana a day because they are kind of high in carbs. But, the ones that you really want to go for would be blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. They have what you call polyphenols in them, which are kind of like fat-attacking agents. I don't really know the scientific words for it, but I know that that's strictly what they're for. And there's one important key factor in all of your diets or your lifestyle, and that is drinking water. Nobody understands the importance of drinking water. It keeps your muscles hydrated. It keeps your system flushed out. Keeps your muscles healthy. It keeps everything in line and cleansed out, and your body functioning properly. And the better, your body flushes things out, the better your metabolism gets, and the easier it is for you to, mess up every once in a while. So, make sure you drink a lot of water. They say 8 cups a day, I think, but just drink as much as you can. Just drink it all. Drink all the water. Drink water whenever you're doing it for dinner, for breakfast. Drink it all the day. For 3 months, nothing but water with all your meals. You'll notice a huge difference. And now we move on to, I wrote down some tips for like when you're going to the gym, trying to maintain, once you got your kitchen right, now it's time to find your gym routine. So things I would like to, for someone going 3 days a week minimum, that is not too much to ask for a lot of people, even people with kids. 3 days a week, you can do it. So if you're only going 3 days a week, you need to make sure that when you're there those 3 days that you're mixing your muscle groups to hit everything, because obviously you're not going to be able to hit all your muscle groups in 3 days unless you mix them together. Things I would do would be like, on a leg day, throw in your core, because you're on legs, you're engaging your core more than anything else, besides your legs, obviously. So if you do legs and core together, that's one day. And then the next day, maybe do some chest and back, because that's a full upper body work, pushing and pulling. Your body will freak out. You'll be so pumped up, you won't even be able to walk through the door. And then another day, do biceps, triceps, or arm day, and knock those out. And then another day you could do, if you don't want to do, if you want to throw shoulders in, do your shoulders with your legs and your core. And make sure you split your shoulders and your chest day up. I would do, like, if I was doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday workout, do your shoulders and your legs and your core Monday, and then do your chest on Friday, because your shoulders and your chest, they can, kind of hurt each other, if you go back to back. I need to tell myself that a lot, because I do that all the time, and it's a huge mistake. And be sure, I emphasize this, excuse me, be sure to, on your rest days, to not, be filled with junk food and, I deserve this, crap, because it's not going to work. It's not going to cut it, because you're just going to destroy everything you did and everything you worked for, because you don't deserve it until you're to that point where you think you really deserve it, whenever you notice those 100% results that you were aimed for. Now, this stuff, along with that, it's not going to happen overnight, or in a week or in a month. So if you are looking to make the huge change that you want, I'm telling you, 3 months tops. It's going to be miserable. You're going to hate yourself. You're going to be tired, and you're going to be hurting. You're going to be sore. But I can't express to you how good it feels whenever you get to that point of reaching your goal. Like, mentally, it's such a buildup, because you're like, I did that. I accomplished that. And then along the way, you've learned so much about yourself. You can start to help others, learn that too, and start to help them take the path you did. And it's just, there's endless things you can learn from it. It's awesome. You learn your body, you learn things you can and can't do, what you can withstand. And I just really hope you guys stick to these resolutions that you have. Speaking of the resolutions, if you are currently doing your resolution, and I'm going to give you until March, I want you guys to send me a before and after picture from January and then March. And you can send that to, my Instagram, Hunter's Instagram, or straight to the podcast Instagram. And we will post them on the episode in March of, some of your guys' transformations, and, put it out there and be like, look at these guys, look what they did. Because, I want to see it, and I'm doing it too. January till March, 3 months, serious dieting, serious training. I'm going to show my picture from this month, and then in March, I'm going to show you my picture of where I'm at, and hopefully we can all, gain something together from it, and that'll be cool. So with that being said, I hope you learned a little something and took some tips from things that have helped me personally in the dieting and the exercise. And with that being said, I'm going to get on to the sports thing I want to get into with the game that went on last night. And that was the Clemson and Alabama game that, I don't want to say everybody thought Alabama was going to win, but Clemson wasn't the favorite, in my opinion. But boy, did they show up. one of the first plays of the game, Alabama had the ball and they threw a pick six. And I was like, that's a little rocky for Alabama, but, they'll come back. And, of course, the next possession Alabama had, they threw a bomb for a touchdown, a long touchdown. And after that, it was pretty much Clemson for the rest of the night. You had this freshman, I believe he's 19 years old, Mr. Trevor Lawrence, a.k.a. Sunshine and Company, came in and just absolutely destroyed Alabama last night. Nick Saban is, easily one of the greatest coaches of all time, and he got destroyed, by a 19-year-old freshman from, remember, the Titans. And I think he threw for, I wrote it down somewhere, 347 yards, had 3 touchdowns. And then their running back, Travis I think Etienne is how you pronounce his last name. He had 2 rushing TDs on 14 carries with 86 yards. And then their receiver, Justin Ross, he had 153 yards on only 6 receptions, and he had a touchdown. They made Alabama look like the Detroit Lions. I mean, it was trash. And it ended up being, I think, 44-16, and they shut down Nick Saban and his huge legacy he has. And, I mean, that's huge. And I think Clemson is – and all those guys that I named off are there next year for Clemson. So I don't think they're going anywhere. So that's going to be awesome. Congrats to them. And another thing I want to talk about, speaking of sports, is the NFL right now. Some high-flying games, that you had the Eagles and the Bears, and poor Cody Parkey missed that field goal to win the game. And everybody booed him out of the stadium, threatened him, all this stuff. But come to find out, his kick was blocked. So all you crazy Bear fans, need to lay off of him because his kick was blocked. So you guys really lost. And I just wanted to throw out, I want to hear your guys' predictions. So, once again with the transformation pictures, send your predictions for the Super Bowl and the rest of the playoffs to the Karcher Cares podcast Instagram page, my Instagram page, Hunter's Instagram page, or, message me on Facebook. You can find me, Aaron Karcher, on Facebook. Message me, send me your picks, and we'll talk about those. Hopefully on the next episode, we'll talk about them the next weekend whenever we see who wins this weekend. But I had some predictions that I made on September 16th last year before the season, as the season was starting. And my prediction was that, I wrote it down because I had to remember it. I have a picture of it to prove it if anybody wants to call me out on it too. So on September 16th, I made the prediction that the Chiefs and the Jaguars would both make it to the playoffs. And I said the Patriots wouldn't win any more than 9 games. And I said the Rams were going to be your Super Bowl champion. Well, right now it's only 50% right. Because the Patriots won 11 games and the Jaguars did not make the playoffs. But the Chiefs made the playoffs. The Rams are still in the running for the Super Bowl. And I still firmly believe that they're going to be your Super Bowl winner. So, with that being said, I did predict the Ravens to be in the Super Bowl against the Rams, but I was way off on that one because I did not. I mean, I thought they were going to beat the Chargers again, but Phillip Rivers came back and destroyed them. So now I have to change my pick, and I don't really like to say it, but I just don't see the Chargers going to New England to beat Tom Brady in New England. So I'm going to say the Rams and Patriots is going to be your next Super Bowl. And I don't really want to see that. I would like to see the Chargers in there, but I just don't think they're going to beat the Patriots in New England. It's just a West Coast team going to East Coast. It's a different weather. It's a different atmosphere. I don't see it. And so I'm going to say Patriots and Rams. And I want you guys to send me your Super Bowl predictions, and we'll see if we can, somebody can be right. And maybe we'll give them a prize for, answering it right. And like I said, you can send that to our Instagram pages, through Messenger or whatever. And I hope that this episode helps you with your New Year's resolutions, and I hope we get a lot of responses from Super Bowl predictions and some transformations. I'm looking forward to that. I really hope you guys stick to it. Just remember, you have to stay at it, guys. Cannot preach, not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. Months of work, sweat, you're going to hurt, you're going to be sore, but trust me, you're going to enjoy the results. I promise you that. I promise you. So please stick with it. Thank you for tuning in. Aaron Karcher from the Karcher Cares podcast, from Hunter and I. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time.